Hey guys, this is Justin, and welcome to another episode of Alamo Geek Speak. Today I'm going to sit down with some of the guys and we're going to discuss 2016, specifically some of the games, movies, and TV shows we liked, and some of them we didn't like. We're also going to talk about some of the things we're hoping for in 2017, so I hope you enjoy.
The game goes on.
Alright, so jumping straight into the episode.
Straight into it?
Straight into it.
Not left into it, right?
It is, huh?
Not left into it?
Not left, straight. Not right either, but even though you could say right into it. Oh, fuck. You can do that, can't you? That's fine. Today's episode, we're talking about 2016 in retrospect, basically going over all of the things that we loved about 2016, which I'm sure a lot of us can't really find a lot of reasons aside from some of our favorite games or movies, and then also talking about some of our least favorite things, which I'm sure we have a laundry list of complaints. So joining me today on this episode is going to be Jarrod, aka Dr. Beardface.
That's a me.
And we also have Sam. You guys remember Sam from the funny channel of We Suck At.
The channel that is part of y'all's channel?
Yeah, kind of, right? It's like, I don't know. Anyway, so today is an episode with three people, not two. Pete can't be here, unfortunately. Pete has some family things going on, but that's what I'm here for. I am the other half of the co-host, I guess I would say, phenomenon known as Alamo Geek Speak. So, we haven't had you guys in the episode in a long time. So, what I want to go ahead and say first is going alphabetical. I can tell you for sure, it's not because I like you more, Jarrod. I want you to go first. What did you do? How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been pretty good. Was playing Warcraft for a little while, and we know how that turned out for me specifically. And then got my gaming computer built finally, so now I'm part of the PC Master Race. And ever since then, it's been Steam games and Battlefield 1 on the PS4.
Yeah, why don't you tell them what kind of case you have? What kind of build do you have?
It's a Thermaltake Core V1. It's a mini ITX build.
That's it, right there. That's all I need is a mini. I just need you to say you have a mini.
It was it was a pain. It was definitely a pain. But you know what? It fits nice real next to the TV.
I still don't know why you didn't just go with a mid. But hey, you know what? To each his own. Everyone has their own little favorite things to do. That is fine. Well, that's good to hear. Then let's go ahead and talk to Sam. And we're gonna go back to your PC specifications. In fact, we'll be talking about it probably later on this year because I'm sure that was one of your favorite things in 2016. But Sam, what have you been up to?
Besides working, I just been doing a lot of PC gaming also. Playing a lot of Overwatch, playing a lot of just Steam games. I just hit like my 359 mark with my games. So I got I got way too many games to go through. And then I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 and kind of touching in like a bunch of other games, and then I've just recently been working on my Magic the Gathering deck and trying to get it modern legal, and I built a standard legal deck as well as a legacy deck. So I'm trying to touch in every aspect of the tourney world for Magic the Gathering.
That sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
I made cards too.
So, nah, dude. You know what? I used to have this I used to have this really awesome deck, and I made mention of it the other day, and Frank was like, "Big deal." Back in high school, I played someone for their deck, and their deck was a sliver deck, and I killed it with a undead deck. It was pretty decent. It wasn't great, but a lot of automatic destroy that fucking thing, and it can't come back. So I won a sliver deck, and then after adding some new cards and buying some decks and getting really lucky, or buying some fucking packs, I got lucky and it became like one of my favorite decks. Well, just like everything else in my life, everything I love, it's taken away from me. So my Magic cards were stolen, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards were stolen in high school. I just fucking gave up. I should have never been collecting cards. I think the only thing that huh?
Say, why even bother if you just go to school with a bunch of thieves?
That's what I'm saying. Seriously, I was using the fucking heart of the cards, but Yu-Gi-Oh goddamn lied to me.
I would have thought that you could just steal your cards.
Right? Where is the honor in that? He's always like, I must use the heart of the cards, but I'm also gonna steal fucking what's that guy's Kaito? Kaiba. I was close. Kaiba. Yeah, because I'm gonna steal Kaiba's fucking blue eyes white dragon. It's like it's the same thing, isn't it? It's like no, it's not. It's not really.
There is no honor.
There is no honor. Thank you very much. That was the most racist thing I've had on the show in a while. Anyway, well, that's cool. Now I work with both you guys. I know that you guys are always up to stuff, but I don't get to hang out with you as nearly as much as possible. So that's good to catch up, isn't it? Same thing. I've been working a lot. Playing a lot of video games. Actually, I think I just broke 150 of my own games. I still have access to another Steam library that was shared to me by a. I guess it wasn't really a job because I didn't get paid, but I was still volunteering, I guess. So I still have access to that Steam library, and I play some of those games every once in a while. But I've been kind of trying to build up my own library. Been playing a lot of. Huh?
Does it get on my level?
Get on my level. Fuck that. I don't want fucking 500 games with 350 games. I could barely play 133. Now that I have 150-ish, it's like there's no hope. I bought Final Fantasy 15 and I fucking hate it, but I love it. I don't know. It's weird kind of relationship there. It's kind of like I imagine my relationship with Final Fantasy 15 is something along the lines of Tommy Lee and what's her face, Big Boobs McGee, Pamela Anderson. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it wasn't exactly the best one because I would always yell at it, "Fuck you! Do something right, Noctis!" And then everyone's like, "Hey, good job, Noctis!" It's like, don't encourage him. Anyway, so yeah, it was. It's interesting, but it's been a pretty crazy, especially the past couple weeks. A lot of games been playing. So, anywho, I took like longer than both you guys. I guess that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this episode. Again, it's 2016 in retrospect, and 2016 has given us a lot of great things. It's also taken away a lot. What they say, the good Lord giveth, he also taketh away. They've said the same thing about Chuck Norris. So I guess we'll just back off and say, next round's mine. So having said that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that didn't make our hearts bleed. Let's talk about some of the favorite games and favorite movies of 2016. Specifically, we'll start with games. There were a lot of games that came out this year. I also am a firm believer that this was not the best year for gaming. I think there was more of a focus on some hardware than it was actual software. But I'm interested in getting your guys' thoughts and opinions on what you think this year was great for.
I gotta say, just out of my personal opinion, I know y'all two won't agree because you've already quit, but I think Legion was probably the best part. Because I really am, thoroughly happy with Legion and, World of Warcraft Legion. I think it really did. Blizzard really kind of caught heat, and they really stepped up to the plate, and they really kind of realized, okay, each expansion is its own game. Each expansion should be played like its own game, and not like a permanent, omnipotent existence within the game. And they can that made it so that they can add gimmicks to the game that will, and they admittedly right off the bat say that we'll be done with this by the end of this expansion. And then that way, with the next expansion, and every expansion is going to come out after that, I have no idea what they'll do. So with this one, I thought they really hit the mark with it, because this whole expansion has been completely different in regards to the new stuff. Most of the time, you get the standard. Oh, you get your 10 levels, your leveling zones, and
here's some new quests. Here's some more stuff to do. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. Oh! You've seen this already? Oh, you saw this for the last 5 expansions? Oh, well, this is what it is. It's new though. It's what you want to do. Well, that's not what we meant. We want a new game. Well, the game isn't being changed, which is contradictory in itself. But
yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest best thing I think of.
I think while I've stopped, I can definitely agree that Blizzard definitely decided that they were going to listen to the people a little bit more, and they've incorporated some really innovative ideas in Legion that brought a lot of people back to continue playing. And I mean, their subscription numbers were leaked, and everyone could see that they, kind of got some of their gamers back this year with Legion.
Well, what's really funny about all that is last year, or not last year, I guess last expansion, Warlords of Draenor started off strong, and when I say strong, it started off like every other expansion from any game starts off. Everyone jumps in.
First 2 or 3 weeks of fun.
Fucking great, and then it kind of petered out. With Legion, I had more fun leveling. I had more fun playing through some of the content. I'm not looking forward at all to trying to level a character from 1 to 110. That's why I'm pretty sure I'll just take the easy way out and fucking buy a boost. A lot of people are like, why would you buy a boost? Well, you want to sit there for fucking 3 months trying to level a character?
I've been playing the game for like, at this point, I think like I'm at 10 years now, 11 years. I've played through the beginning stuff. I've done all that. I know what's in there.
Exactly.
That's not new content to me. I can skip that, and I have the extra $60 here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's no reason why you'd want to go back. I mean, some of the mechanics or some of the way the game is played has been changed into some of the old stuff. Like I'm talking like pop-ups and stuff. Some of the new class changes from level 1 that happened this expansion are neat, but it's not enough to make you want to go back and level a character. If you want a paladin and you've never played one and you want to start from level 1, by all means, go for it. But, with the way they set the classes up to where you can go and say, let me play this class at level 100 and see what it feels like, why are you going to, why even bother trying to level it up? Just boost it to 100, pay the $60, save yourself some time, and then get straight into the good action. No, I
stuff that you bought Legion for. Nobody wants to buy Legion and then wait, months or however long
to play it. Yeah,
it takes you to level from 1 to 100.
Definitely.
I just want to play all the new stuff. So if I have to pay $60 to do that, so be it.
Staying in the same realm of good games for 2016, I think everyone can also agree that Blizzard put out another quality game with Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch, the only thing I was really salty about with Overwatch is the fact that somehow it won Game of the Year over Doom, but whatever. But yeah, no, Overwatch, not only does it look fantastic, it feels good. Depending on the characters you're playing, it could either A, give you an aneurysm or take it away. I swear to God, if I see
aneurysms, that'd be amazing.
Dude, like every single time you play, and especially after they made the change to the quick play, so you can no longer stack the same hero. That's cool. But back in the day, when you'd have like one Hanzo, and now someone's like, I'm playing Hanzo too. It's like, no, dude, get the fuck out of Hanzo. Go play someone important. It's like, I want to be a sniper.
I miss the double bashing at the end of payload.
I do.
Games. And then just being able to troll people and have like 6 Torbjorns and just completely piss everybody off.
You know what? Having that especially when you're playing like the attacking team and you have that
6
initial
bastions
excitement.
On defend.
Actually, you know what? Be honest with you, it's not that hard. All you gotta do is get past their initial defense, and then if you can get a Genji over there, or you can get Hanzo or anyone to get in position to take somebody out real quick. Once you take one, the entire building falls. The entire bastion falls. I think
You said it.
I think Overwatch was great, but I mentioned Doom. I think Doom was fucking fantastic. Bringing in the old school feel with amazing graphics, some of the best graphics I've seen on any PC game, honestly, that runs 60 frames with minimal effort. That's pretty awesome. And then the kills were pretty cool. Multiplayer sucked donkey dick, but it's fine. The rest of the game was pretty good.
I will agree. I played Doom. I actually just got it recently, and I played quite a bit of it. The only thing I gotta say is probably the one thing that you like the best, in my opinion, I thought was kind of a shortcut to making awesome, and it wasn't really, to me, that kind of actually worked against it, was the kills. The whole shoot insta kill, like that killed it for me bad, because it was the same kill animations, and that's all you had to do is run up, shoot, kill, run up, shoot,
but yeah,
kill, and it got a little old.
I think the reason why it didn't really bother me as much is because at a certain point, you start seeing it not necessarily as I want to see myself rip something's head off, but you're like, okay, I need to kill this guy real quick so I can get some health from him so I can stay alive long enough to where I can shoot like a nuke at this guy or use my BFG in this room. So, I mean, when you start looking at it, not necessarily as a kill, but more as a health pack, it makes it easier to palate, because I was in the same boat. I was like, how many fucking imps am I going to tear in half, or how many times am I going to grab this dude's arm and smack him with it? And then also, finding new ways to like, if you jump down and hit something, or if you go from the sides or look at the legs, you do different attacks. But yeah, there's only so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I agree with you on the kill animations. They did kind of run dry pretty quickly, but I think it also just added to some of the chaos. When that metal music started playing in your headphones, you started going nuts.
I was literally about to say that. That's probably the besides the gameplay and the graphics, the soundtrack.
Oh my god, yeah.
That soundtrack was on point. It had everything right about it.
It didn't have the same droning kind of Doom music that the other Doom games had, but it still did what the other Doom music did, and that's get you in the mood. It puts you in this Space Marine's boots, and you just wrecked everything.
And it's a soundtrack that I could actually see myself buying and just listening to.
Oh, yeah.
Most games will sell a soundtrack with their stuff like special edition, and nobody listens to it. It gets put into a box and forgotten about. I have my Cataclysm special edition soundtrack. I haven't even opened.
I think we found your Mists of Pandaria soundtrack the other day, Justin, still sealed.
Yeah, I still have the Mists of Pandaria soundtrack.
So nobody listens to any of that. I mean, it's nice, and all the work that the individuals put into it is, it's not forgotten. But I mean, it's also not really. It doesn't stand out as much as, say, if it has more impact like Doom does.
It's funny, real quick. I don't want to go back to World of Warcraft too in depth, but I have the original soundtrack, and that's still one of my favorite World of Warcraft soundtracks, just because some of the music was really
the original.
Yeah, well, I mean the first World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
When Vanilla came out, I felt it kind of had more of like a tribal feel to it, especially when you start listening to something like the trolls or the orcs. It kind of had more of a power feel. And then the humans were all like, "Oh, we're humans. We just fight orcs. Have at thee."
Golly.
So, since we're on the topic of Warcraft music already, we can kind of use this to talk about another game. There was Ramin Djawadi, who composed all the music for a lot of the Warcraft games, also composed music for Gears of War 4.
Yeah.
Which came out this year. I didn't get a chance to play that, but I know you did. Didn't you not, Justin?
What's really funny? And this was actually a game I was going to bring up. I know a lot of people really liked it, and I didn't get a chance to play it, and there's some reasons for that. I think I honestly want to save that game for things that I didn't like in 2016. It's not that I didn't like it, but I got some things I'd like to share on that. I don't want
back to it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep on it.
I haven't even played it. I honestly, and this is blasphemy, I'm sure. I've never really been a huge fan of the game
Blasphemy.
series.
No,
I'm in the same boat, Sam. I've never been a fan.
I think it's visually cool. The story is fantastic.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, I can't get into it. I played the first one, I think, way too much.
Too
All
repetitive.
the other ones feel the same.
Well, that's the thing about the Gears of War series is it's repetitive, but if you look at it like I look at most games where it's just like an interactive movie, the story's fantastic. You hit the nail on the head with that one. But then, you also bring in the fact that you have to move the story along, and sometimes it's like, oh, how many times am I going to have to take fucking cover and kill this goddamn grub? So, I get you.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, for me, like, cover shooters have gotten kind of dull, because there isn't a lot of challenge to it. It's more, the challenge really only comes in the boss fights, and nobody wants to do all the stuff that leads up to it. Most of the time, most of the people I talk to, or that have played Gears, any of the Gears, typically, like, they'll say that, I'm playing it to see the story. And that, to me, shouldn't be something a good game should have people saying.
Well, you got to make sure mechanics.
Let me rephrase that. I don't mean like I'm not trying to say it's not a good game. It's just not a game that everybody will like. I personally just I don't know.
Well, let's talk about one more game in 2016. There's 1,000 games out there. I'm sure we want to talk about.
My bad list is much longer.
That's what I'm saying. This year wasn't the best year for gaming, but one game did come out that I don't play it as much as some of the other people I know. They play it pretty much religiously, and this is also for anyone who knows my brother. He's a gamer, but he's not like a hardcore gamer. He plays games on his off time when he has nothing to do, whereas I proactively go out of my way to play games. Most of us do. Battlefield 1 has got to be one of the best games ever to come out this year, for sure. And some simple reasons. Huh? Well, technically, you're right. Fine, sorry. Last year. It's got to be one of the best games to come out in 2016. Simply because of the fact the game looked amazing on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. I can't say for sure Xbox One, but I played some of the stuff on the head of whatever on the PC, and then I also played on PS4. And both of them look great. PC obviously has some higher visuals because you can turn off a lot of stuff you can't do with PS4. Mm-hmm. But having said that, the game is immersive. Flying planes is way more fun when you're not rocketing towards a fucking mountain at 8,000 miles per hour. These little biplanes where you can just drop bombs and shoot infantry. It's really cool. So I think that
have control.
They actually have control. You know what? In Battlefield 4, it's still one of my favorite shooters ever because I think it's really well balanced. Especially for as long as they've been updating it. It better be fucking balanced, right? Battlefield 4, their jets and everything, they were fun to play with, but they were hard to control, especially in a majority of the combat is infantry or some kind of like land vehicle. Being one of maybe 6 air-based vehicles, 2 of which being helicopters, sometimes 4, it's not very much fun because you gotta like imagine trying to take out a helicopter with a machine gun, or you turn around and take that sharp turn and you think you have more time but you don't, and you can't get a lock on with your missile. You're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Let me just get on the ground and shoot out of the sky with a rocket launcher. So this game doesn't have that same feeling, and then also it has more depth of a feeling to it. Granted, in Battlefield 4, you do feel like you're part of a war zone, but it doesn't feel like a war. It feels like a conflict. It feels like an isolated incident that happened in a city. Maybe it's flooding or whatever. It doesn't feel grand scale. This one, because you have 2 of these I would say historically accurate, but I'm not a fucking historian, right? You have 2 of these historic groups of people, the Germans, and you have the Americans, and you have Italian. You have all these people fighting over land, and maps are a little bit smaller, but also a little bit more linear, and combat just happens. It just boom, 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 back and forth. So it actually, to me, feels more like an actual event versus, oh, hey, look, I was called in by the government to come stop you.
Man.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a long thing to say. Battlefield 1, definitely one of my favorite games of 2016.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't picked it up just yet, but I'm a paycheck away.
Getting it. It's same thing. Yeah. I think
completely 100% top notch. I think the second night that I played it, I think I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning playing it. I
typically have like way more fun playing first person shooters based in older wars and older base, because like my favorite shooter of all time that I had the most fun on is World at War.
World at War was fun. I would have to say one of my favorite older shooters was Battlefield 1942, just because I was still really into like the online multiplayer. That was like one of the first games to really do it. Not the first one obviously, but one of the first ones.
That game got me into online first person shooters,
for sure.
Like before any other.
Well, and who didn't? I mean, Wake Island is like iconic. I mean, Wake Island to me for PC gaming veterans is the same thing that Blood Gulch is for any Xbox owner. They recognize the name Blood Gulch from Halo. We recognize the name Wake Island from Battlefield. And when they brought that back into, I think it was Battlefield 3 that they brought Wake Island back into, I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, man. So I was all for it. Well, what about, we also had some movies and TV shows that came out this year, or even some series that either wrapped up or they left us on a ridiculous cliffhanger, Game of Thrones. So, Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I think we can all agree, even though it felt like more like a fan service, Warcraft the movie was one of my favorite movies of 2016 for sure.
Oh,
Um,
I own it and have rewatched it so
yeah,
many times.
the CG on the orcs was 1,000 times better than what the actual humans look like. So it's like, uh, that's awkward, but it looked great, and it told a story that I think a lot of people who are Warcraft fans either A, didn't know, or B, didn't know how to get their friends into that lore. Because how many times have you sit there and talked about World of Warcraft, like we just did a little while ago, talking about World of Warcraft to people who don't play it, who don't know anything of the Warcraft series? This is something you guys can share now, and you can kind of build up on that. There was a lot of questions that my brother had of the movie that I was able to answer, and it was like, hey, look, we're bonding.
I'm saving that movie for our bad talk.
Oh no! Okay, well,
yeah, well, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
2 out of 3 is not bad. We still, it's still a win in my book. No, like I said, it's totally a fan service, and there's nothing specific to say.
That. If anything, like visually, it looked really good, but I gotta say, like as soon as they mentioned it and when I saw the screen caps of it, I kind of called it because it was like 98% CG.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like, oh wow, this is like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe meets Warcraft.
I mean, you can't really do
movie quality.
You can't really do anything with the orcs. They kind of have to be CG.
What they should have done and what they didn't do is completely drop all the live action everything. It should have been a solid CG movie.
Should have been.
I understand it would have been super expensive, but that's how one of those movies should have been done. Because using real people, especially the people they casted for it, I mean, they're great actors, but a lot of them didn't, in my opinion, didn't suit their role. There were some of them that were turned around that there's a bunch of people I just did not.
I honestly, I wasn't feeling King Lane myself.
King Lane was wrong. He was for me, he was way too small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a smaller dude. He wasn't nearly as like pronounced and prominent.
He's a fucking king, right? That's what I'm saying.
Well, king. He didn't stick out. He wasn't a, he didn't fill the role. Yeah. And to put it simply.
I have a thought process on the movie completely. While I liked it, watching through the movie, the fifth, sixth time, you can kind of get kind of a hint that they're trying to put too many main protagonists in the movie at one time, which there wasn't enough build up for each of them individually, which could kind of lead to negative opinion on the movie.
Let's use the opportunity, because you're talking about ways to build up movies. Some of my favorite movies, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I need you guys to listen to me before you say anything. Zootopia. Actually, dude, I'm not going to lie. Fucking
Zootopia was great.
I love that goddamn movie.
It wasn't terrible. It was better than Warcraft.
I think one of my favorite movies, honestly, was Batman vs. Superman and the Suicide Squad. And simple reasons why they were my favorite, like some of my favorite movies of 2016, is this showed exactly what kind of fucking studio DC the whole bullshit is. They need to stop and need to slow down. They're not going to beat Marvel by trying to beat them to the punch. If you want the stories to work,
this super huge catch-up game, and it really is deadening the quality of their movies.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's excited going into 2017 for DC movies at this point.
You know what? I still hold the same candle. I want to see Wonder Woman because I want to just I'm this close to sending an email to Warner Brothers and being like, guys, slow the fuck down. Because, slow and steady wins the race. Who cares if you're not the first one to the moon as long as you make the better impression? So when it comes to Wonder Woman, they better make it good. Suicide Squad was such a... there was good parts and there was bad parts. I felt that they pandered a lot, but overall, I think there were certain characters who I appreciated a decent likeness to. So, Suicide Squad honestly wasn't that bad of a movie. Just the writing was fucking terrible. But that's, again, one of my favorite movies for that same reason. I think it's important for them to understand when they fail and stop making excuses. So this could be potentially what could make the future DC movies good. And of course, all the Marvel movies. We don't have to talk about those. Those are already fucking
Well,
god tier.
let's talk about a couple of them though.
Hold on. I was gonna say is the one thing they really need to stop doing, and it's also contributing to their like lessening quality. They need Warner Brothers needs to stop worrying so much about marketability.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all Suicide Squad really was. It was to me like it seemed like that, and I'm not gonna say anything about the quality of the movie because I haven't actually seen it yet. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't actually sat and watched it because I'm having a hard time lowering my self-esteem to that level to go watch it. But no, like it really, especially with the way they did Joker, it makes for an easy sell, and it sticks out to not only your hot topic crowd, but he's also got kind of that gangster look to him. So he's with all the tats and all the jewelry, and it doesn't to me, it didn't scream Joker. It was just, okay, that's Jared Leto dressed as Joker, and it didn't. I think if Warner Brothers really wants to make a good movie, and honestly, Marvel, and I'm not even picking sides. Civil War completely, honestly, like the best part of Civil War was the fight. The rest of the movie just didn't have any weight to it, didn't have anything to it, and really the fact that they put Spider-Man in it,
I was about to say
it makes me feel that the new Spider-Man movie that's coming out, granted, it should be cool, but really, like, to me, it feels really forced. Like, it seems like they're just like, oh, well, he's going to be he was in this movie, and we want him in the other movies, so we got to catch everybody up, and we got to hit him in there. And the trailer that I watched recently of the movie really just looks like it's Iron Man and friends. And I understand that it's about Spider-Man, but how much of the plot did you see in that trailer? Or how much of what's going on did you see in that trailer that isn't just Iron Man and Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, and that's
not much.
That you're right, and I think that what they're going to be using that for, they use Civil War as the vehicle to push Spider-Man. They use it. Same thing, right? They use it as a vehicle to push Spider-Man, and that's important because Spider-Man, up to this point, there's not a whole lot of people, unless you're lying to yourself. There's not a whole lot of people who can say every single Spider-Man was good. Spider-Man 1 and 2 by Sam Raimi were good. Well, the first one was good. The second one was better than the third one for sure. And also Doc Ock was a fantastic fucking villain.
No, he was so well done, and he was casted well.
I know, and they put him.
His plot was kind of weird with the whole artificial sun thing, but the way they handled it in the movie, and I don't know. But overall, though, that's tiny in regards to the way the rest of the movie played out. It was handled really well. Third one
was terrible.
So
Topher Grace.
So bad.
Why would you pick Topher Grace? And then even then, you got
The Rock would have been better.
Actually, you know what? Probably.
That was a joke.
I would probably go with his acting skill. And you know what? It didn't really have a lot to do with the fact that Topher Grace was a bad guy. It just had everything to do with the fact that they did a poor job making Venom. I wanted to see big, bulky, angry Venom, not ugly. Yeah, he was a little kid. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat you now, Spider-Man." Whatever the fuck he said to him. It's stupid.
It's Foreman, dude. It's Eric Foreman.
Yeah, dumbass. And then, also, Sandman. Having what's his face, Thomas Hayden Church. I love him. He's a great actor. In fact, his new series Divorce is pretty funny on HBO. But I wasn't really. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking because the Venom sucked. But
I think, honestly, that whole movie, he was the best part.
I guess I could see it that way.
Symbiote spy compared to the dancing scene.
Let's not talk about it. I really don't want to relive it.
Let's move on because that movie came out not in 2016.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man sucked. But anyway, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, my whole point is that these two major production companies needed. I understand that the marketability of it does make shitloads of money, but it's starting to bleed into the actual quality.
The one big thing we're going to be able to find out this year is, of course, Spider-Man, and we're also looking at Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're going to see what Marvel does. But so far, Marvel's been on point. And that's the thing that DC needs to be careful of, because first of all, being at Comic-Con and saying "fuck Marvel," having the director say that, I know they didn't ask him to say that, I'm sure, but he's like, I'm going to say it anyway. That's a big goddamn check to cash or to write because he can't cash that. I guarantee it. The 2 movies that he was involved with pretty much said, hey, you can't do it. So, you can't. Yeah. Anyway, we have
While you feel like a lot of the stuff in Civil War was, just the fight scene, how did you feel about Deadpool? Because it also came out in 2016.
Deadpool was awesome. But, oh my god, it was so glad satisfying. It was like they even acknowledged the fact that it was going to be just all about just ridiculousness, and they set the appropriate pace before it even came out, and they did all the advertising right. It was just.
But I think
the casting choices were amazing.
Well, because Ryan Reynolds being like a big part of the movie. I mean, he had all answers.
Minus the CG Colossus, the entire movie.
I was kind of into it though because like it's Colossus. How are you gonna make a big old?
Yeah, you can't really make him just a guy.
I know,
but I mean, it would have been cool if you like did the change or something.
Yeah,
that was such a small thing. That's like honestly my only complaint.
Like if they would have made him look like him when he gets the call at the Professor X's house, whatever his house of gifted youngsters, and then have him change when he meets up with Deadpool. Small things like that would have been cool, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I wasn't too upset. I think Colossus looked pretty good.
I think it was kind of weird.
He looked awesome.
I think it was kind of weird that they brought in like a super minor X-Men in the movie.
Oh yeah,
but you know why they would do something like that though? Is like because
Negasonic Human Warhead or whatever her name was.
No one had rights to her, so it's like, well, there you go.
It was easy pickings.
And then not to mention, I mean, granted,
it was a bang up job. She did great.
Well, yeah, but when you look at the fact that
wasn't it Fox that did Deadpool?
Yeah,
they have rights to all the X-Men anyway.
Oh, maybe
they could have picked any of them, but they only used 2. And what's funny is the movie pokes fun at that because when Deadpool goes up to the door, it's like, I only ever see the 2 of you. Is there anybody else live here?
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, hopefully, the next Deadpool movie, when it comes out, I know that really focusing on Cable and Domino, but it would be really cool if we could see some of the other X-Men, even if it's just a cameo. Even if it's just, show him and Wolverine like a flashback of them fighting, or show him hitting on Jean Grey or something.
They confirmed that Deadpool was going to be in the Logan movie, so we'll see him again next year.
Oh, they did.
They did.
Man, well, because you can't kill Deadpool though, so I guess that makes sense.
Exactly.
They'll probably. I wonder if they're going to use Headpool. Like, it'd be cool if they had a little floating head, a little fucking propeller attached to it. I mean, Deadpool was well done. I think that everything we said about it was right for the most part.
I will say one good thing about Batman versus Superman. Honestly, like the one part of that movie that I thought I was going to hate the most turned out to be the best part of that movie.
You're talking about Batfleck? Yes.
Batfleck, yeah.
Dude.
He was honestly, like, when I saw the costume and I saw the fact they picked Ben Affleck, and I was like, Ben Affleck, really? We're going to get Geely the Batman? I didn't want anything to do with it. I wanted absolutely I was like, nope, this is terrible. Why are you doing this? Christian Bale, come back. But I don't know, he did it really well. I thought he did the role very well. He, honestly made the movie, except for the whole plot. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the whole, I don't know.
I think
it was dumb.
I think you're right. There was some major problems with that, but that was one of the other reasons I liked the movie too. Was Ben Affleck? I mean, I told everyone he's a great actor. I mean, maybe I won't throw the term "great" around too loosely, but he's a good actor, and a lot of his stuff I've always liked. Like The Town was one of my all-time favorite movies. So when you put him in Good Will Hunting, how about them apples? I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so the fact they put him in the movie, I was really excited about that, and he turned out to be a good choice. He played a good brooding Batman. Of course, he was brooding for all the right reasons. If you guys haven't seen it yet, fucking watch it, because my give a shit meter is really low. I'm probably gonna end up spoiling it next episode. But yeah, no, it was really good. So yeah, that was movies. We talked a lot about movies. I just want to make sure we stay on time here. Now, let's also talk about some TV shows. Of course, Game of Thrones is high on me and Jared's list. I don't know if have we ever talked
I
about
haven't
Game of
really
Thrones?
watched
You
it.
don't really watch it, yeah. So
We
Yeah,
talked
y'all
about
go
it
ahead.
very briefly, but
Yeah.
I do think that they wrapped the season up very well, considering they didn't have a lot of time to do so, and I'm very excited to look forward to what's coming.
wait. So hold the door. Do you think that they ended it the right way, or do you think they just ended the best way they could have?
I feel like they ended it the only way that they could have for that specific series, for that specific season. There
Oh.
was no way to close it up without leaving a cliffhanger, and they kind of left it with a the kind of a smallish cliffhanger because we know what's coming.
Yeah, I just wanted a reason to say hold the door, and I don't know if you caught that. Anyway,
Ah,
yeah, no, it was a great season. Of course, next season they said, wait, this season was 10 episodes, right?
This upcoming season is going to be 6. Next
know.
season is going to be 6.
Yeah, that's what I say. So this season was
We've
10
got-
episodes, so we got the whole 10 weeks out of that. This next season will be 2 months instead of the average fucking like 3, and that's gonna be sad. But I think that's kind of what HBO is going towards now. HBO is going to shorter seasons because they're able to maybe put it out faster. I
Well,
I really
feel like with. Go ahead.
well, I really hope that Silicon Valley doesn't do that because that show is like basically my spirit animal. I love Silicon Valley, and the way it ended this past season, it's leading into probably an amazing season again. If you guys don't watch the show, Silicon Valley on HBO is one of my favorite shows ever made. It's Thomas Middleditch plays this little geeky coder dude who comes up with his own company.
Don't forget about TJ Miller, who is hilarious.
Yeah, and everyone there is hilarious. Everyone in the show is funny by their own right, and they each gets their own little their own limelight. So check it out. It's really funny. Again, if you haven't. But
Going back to Game of Thrones, I feel like the next 2 seasons really don't need to be longer than that, and a lot of people are not going to like me for saying that, but I feel like everything's about to hit the fan in Westeros, and everything's going to wrap up very quickly.
Well, you know what's really funny is a lot of people are going to. I'm sure if you haven't read the books, I haven't read the books, but I've been told to be ready because things are going to change like big time. People that you know in the show who are alive may not be alive for long. I'm not naming any names.
Isn't that the whole theme of the entire show? Is
Pretty much. You know what?
It's like, hey, this is John. John's really cool. He's got all these cool things about him. He's a really nice dude. And say hi. Hi, John. Bam! I just shot John in the head. And he's
right?
Yeah, John's
seriously.
dead.
In the description for the show, it should be something like sadists to get together and come up with a story that will ruin your fucking life.
Yeah, like I honestly I stopped watching it once they killed the dog. I was done. Like that was the first death in the show.
Man.
They killed that dog, and I was like, I'm done.
There
I
are,
want
like-
absolutely nothing to do with
there
this.
are
And if you're
so
worried about
many-
spoilers. That's season 1.
Right? You should have seen it. There are so many ways that show has made me say, I'm not watching next season, or I'm fucking
Then you
done.
did.
And
But
then I
then you
did.
did.
But then I was like, God damn it. Why
This
did
time I didn't. I haven't continued watching it.
It's, what? A lot of the characters that you love, they die. And it's like, why did you have to die? And then it's like, well, I mean, because the show has to go on, whatever.
It's too stressful for me.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Way stressful. More stressful than it needs to be. But it's a fantastic show. I would tell you that if you want to watch it again, you should. I'll let you know on HBO now.
Another one that came out in 2016 that I didn't actually get the chance to sit down and watch that everyone is raving about was Stranger Things.
Well, see, Stranger Things, to me, I liked it. It was neat, but I feel like... Okay, so...
I think it was overhyped. I haven't actually started... I watched some trailers on it, but
I was going
don't
to throw
know.
the
I
unpopular
gotta actually
opinion out
watch it.
there and say
Go for it.
it was good, but it wasn't my favorite. I think that it was fun, it was energetic, and there was a lot of things that happened that made you go, oh shit, that's so cool. But I was like, I mean, that's cool. I mean, if you like the kind of thing.
Well then, Justin, why don't you tell us about Westworld while we're at it?
Oh my God, Westworld, fuck my life up. That was like one of the best shows this year for sure. It was... you guys haven't seen any of it yet, right?
No.
So it's based off of the old TV show, Westworld. I think it was a TV show or a book. I can't remember. I know it's based off of previous content. And it basically talks about this place. It's like a hotel kind of where these people go. They pay ridiculous amounts of money to go live in the West. And when I say live in the West, they're not living out in Arizona or some shit. They are actually it's more like mountain. I guess they're not living in California, but they are in this little area that this company has bought, and they have turned into a desert area. I said area twice. Turned into this desert biome. New word. And basically made like a resort there. So now you get to hang out with these robots or these animatronic kind of things. They're not really animatronic. They're AI controlled. Like, it's crazy. I can't even see how fucking flustered I am. It's such a great show. Stop listening to me. And just trust and know that you need to watch this show. If you haven't watched it yet, but you want to, get with a friend who has HBO Now. If you don't have HBO Now, it's $15 a month, and I think you get a free month. So start it up and then cancel that shit. But you need to watch Westworld. It's one of the most need to watch shows out there, aside from Game of Thrones. And I'm not gonna lie to you, depending on the next 2 seasons go, Westworld could potentially overshadow Game of Thrones if they are on back to back. Anyway,
my show,
great show.
There's 2 shows that I think wrapped up last year that I think really need to be expounded on. First is Archer.
Yes.
Season 7. Oh my god. Big talk about a cliffhanger. Do y'all watch? I'm assuming y'all haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the newest season.
Nope.
Y'all have to watch it. You have to watch it.
Dude,
like season 6 at least.
I don't have fucking cable. Like I didn't watch a lot of Archer. I know season 6 is on
Netflix.
I know season 6 is on. I'm getting there. Season 6 is on Netflix and Hulu, right?
Yeah, and then of course, I mean, I'm not trying to promote pirating.
Dailymotion has all the new.
There you go.
I'm sure there's internet people.
Well, let me borrow the episode.
Yeah.
I need to check it out.
And the cliffhanger on that is the most hardcore I've ever seen in a while, and it goes that whole season was really good. Second show on, and I hate to be like part of this bandwagon, but it really was crazy as shit. South Park. Like, it just completely like by the end of it, the only thing you're saying the entire time is, "Holy fuck, what the fuck."
Dude,
yeah, literally, we can just say that South Park is the most woke show.
Get the fuck out of here! Woke show. Get the fuck out. No,
it's pretty woke.
It is. It's one of those shows that they're not afraid to kind of like tell you how it is. One of my last season was my favorite season for sure. So far, I didn't watch this one. I need to go back and watch this episode from A to Z. Watch it completely again. Watch all 10 episodes back to back and be able to give you a true synopsis. But like, last season was just hard to beat.
Yeah, the last season was really good. I'll give you that. I'll be first to tell you now. The most when you say last season, you're talking about the one before the newest season. I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the actual last season, the one that came out last year. I would say, like, in regards, since I've seen all of it, like, it's on par, if not more insane.
Oh no, I mean, I've seen some of the episodes from this season, from the episode from season 2016.
When it wraps up, when you finish it and it wraps up, it's just dumb and the good kind of dumb.
I've never seen. I think I watched the final episode. I just wasn't paying attention, so I think that's what I have to do.
Super cool. And I think what makes that show so good is the fact that they adapt to what's going on in today's society. Since they make all of their episodes, or they make an episode within 1 week's time. It's able to adapt and change with what's happening in today's society. So it's almost like that show is going on in real life, almost like 24. Like, it's like what's actually happening is, what's happening in our world is affecting their world, and it's
kind of
intuitiveness of it is awesome.
It is like a little bit of a mindfuck, I suppose. It's again, I'll say it for the other shows. This show too. If you haven't seen it, definitely gotta watch it. The seasons of South Park, they're so damn smart, and a lot of people are gonna write it off and say, "Oh, it's just crude humor," but like, South Park is one of those shows that it's so smart. and it's funny, and it talks about stuff that's very taboo that you shouldn't normally be talking about. But then now they kind of made it something that you have discussions about. Like, legit, like, there have been times where after a South Park episode, I go to work, and I shouldn't be having this conversation at work because that's very not HR compliant, but you have conversations with people there who may fit a specific description talked about in the show, and you kind of have a talk about, like, how does it make you feel? Like, oh, well, I've never really noticed it that way, or this or that. So it's really neat. So I guess one last show, two last shows actually, not going to go in depth, but also HBO, Insecure, and Divorce. Those are really cool too. If you guys haven't watched Insecure, it's really funny. This chick, she's a comedian and she has her own show. It's just whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna kind of move on a little bit. One of the things that 2016 also did to us, and I said did to us because it really did it to us, was it took away some influential people. We have some celebrities who, unfortunately, left us too early, we feel like. Just to name a few, we had David Bowie, Alan Rickman earlier in the year. And real quick also, I know a lot of people, unfortunately, have passed away. And there's a lot of people we haven't actually recognized because maybe they weren't in any roles that we were super attached to or anything like that. So this list isn't made to single anybody out, but it's just made to just recognize that some of the people that influenced us the most have passed. Having said that, we also, Nancy Reagan, Gary Shandling, Doris Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
Doris Roberts, Prince. That was really, oh my God, dude. Like Muhammad Ali. We lost Anton Yelchin.
Not even talking about just the older people. We lost Anton, man.
Yeah. Some of the other ones we had Gene Wilder,
Thomas,
Arnold Palmer, drink mogul as well as golfer.
Made my favorite drink in the world, and
someone else who we lost, who I think a lot of people were really they had that kind of like connection to. Florence Henderson, Brady Bunch. A lot of people know her. She was funny, very funny, and I think that her work stands on its own. And it's unfortunate that she will be missed. Not unfortunate we're missing her, but unfortunate that she's passed. Fidel Castro, I think we should point that one out just because he
did die.
He did die. Alan Thicke, which was a surprise to me.
I never knew that Robin Thicke was his son.
No,
dude, I never knew that.
I remember seeing after that whole thing where he looked like Beetlejuice and he was grinding on fucking Miley Cyrus. That's when I found out Alan Thicke was his dad. So it was crazy. Who would have thought that watching some creepy old dude rub on some creepy young girl would have made me feel that that dude's dad's creepy. Now I don't know that the last ones that we lost, and we lost him, and it feels like a flurry, dude, like out of nowhere. Of course, the last big four were George Michael, Carrie Fisher, and her mother Debbie Reynolds, and then we also lost William Christopher. That was kind of like a last kind of thing. Not a whole lot of people saw that coming. So do you guys know who William Christopher is?
Yeah, he was the priest on MASH.
He was the priest on MASH, and it was kind of like that last fuck you from 2016. It's like, you guys want to keep saying fuck you 2016, I'm going to say fuck you back.
Right on the 31st, he passed away.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was a tough thing to have to go through. I'm not going to sit here and make it sound like I was super into MASH because let's be honest, I wasn't. But
I grew up on that show.
The fact of the matter is, exactly. My dad watched it. My mom watched it
religiously. My dad watched it.
I think it was probably a military thing, or just honestly, I don't want to be condescending, but like an old people thing.
It was also funny.
Yeah, that too. So it is what it is. But
all I can say is we can safely move past 2016 because it took Willy Wonka, Professor Snape, and Princess Leia. It needs to be a thing that we look back on.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things it still kind of sucks was David Bowie. I don't listen to all of his music, but I think as far as music goes, his music was so inspirational to a lot of things. And then not to mention,
Him and Prince both.
even though I won't say hate, I didn't play that much of Phantom Pain. I think that opening up with Man Who Sold the World was one of the most genius ideas ever. Anywho, now we get to move on to the fun stuff. This is going to be going quick, and this should be a long list, but we're going to try to keep it down because we're going to talk about the stuff that we fucking hated from 2016. That's right, all the stuff that we did not like. So now you get a chance to listen to if Sam has any more thoughts on why Warcraft wasn't a good movie. We can talk a little bit.
Movies?
No, we're gonna talk about everything.
Okay. Let's start somewhere because
you know what? Let me start. Let me start with one of the biggest upsets of the entire year. You guys may or may not agree with me.
Your birthday.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Sorry.
What the hell happened with No Man's Sky?
Oh my
that was gonna be
God.
the first thing I brought up. Yes.
Oh, dude. Okay, so here's the deal. No Man's Sky, right? For anyone who's listening who doesn't know what No Man's Sky, which honestly, if you're listening to this podcast, it's about
Let's
gaming.
assume everybody knows what
You
No
should
Man's
know
Sky
what it is. Yeah, dude, it was the most fucked up thing in the world. And you know the worst part is the radio silence that we got from fucking Hello Games. They just completely they pretended we didn't exist. And then people would tweet them and ask them, when is an update coming out? Are you guys fixing it? And they'd be like, oh, silence. Nothing. And then finally, when they do come out with an update, it feels like it's a little bit too late. I don't see people streaming it. I don't see people... Well, there's people streaming it now, I suppose. But I don't see anyone losing their mind over it. It's not something that people want to play anymore. It's actually kind of a meme now. People talk about it, and they're not like, oh, yeah, no, I played No Man's Sky for fun. No, they played it because they were dared to, or they bought it because they're an idiot like me who bought it the day it came out. Yeah, so you were just smarter though because you sold it back when it was still like $20 or something. I
was 15, and I'd used that $15 to buy Magic cards.
Well, that's still a better fucking deal than buying it and then playing it. So there's that.
I mean, I should have known. Like, I predicted how that game was going to feel and how it was going to play. It's like it's just going to be a randomly generated planet simulator with very predictable formulas for each planet. Mm-hmm. And so what we're going to get is Spore Creature Creator on the planet of Spore.
Oh my god!
And it's just mass coding. The fact that what really killed it for me was the fact that there was no names to anything. Like, you got to name everything and beyond the randomly generated names. So it was like there was no real tact to what was actually the game. Nothing was real. Everything could be renamed. Everything could be just randomly done. All the planets look the same from the outside, basically. I think the coolest thing, the only reason why that game had me for like the first like day was just the scope. My favorite part about it was the scale. Yeah. The fact that, you know, when I fly out and leave orbit, I could see the planet I was on, and it was huge, and it kind of gave me this like whole like dwarfing feeling where like kind of like how whenever you're playing Shadows of Colossus, you walk up to the Colossus and it's giant, and you know it's looking at you. It's kind of the whole that same kind of feeling. But once you do that 1 time, 2 times, 8 times, 12 times, it gets really old and really dull.
Dude, I think I made like 6 planets, and they all looked exactly the fucking same.
I had a whole galaxy called Mark Ruffalo the Buffalo, and everything was named after Hulk or Mark Ruffalo.
You know what really sucks is that the one thing that they could have given us out of everything, because they said that supposedly, as you're playing the game, you can come across other people's discoveries, right? And while they weren't able to actually see each other, 2 players were able to name stuff, and they could see the names were changing and this and that. They took away my only joy because there was this like long, slender, like walking plant thing, and I tried to call it a fuckstick, and it didn't let me because it's like you can't use that language, and it's like you're gonna tell me that I can not build a base. I can only terraform this much stuff. I can only carry all this stuff. You're going to tell me all these things I can't do. Why? This is supposed to be space. It's supposed to be my story. Either way. Yeah. Fuck that game. You know what? Another game that I wasn't super keen on was honestly Final Fantasy 15. I think the reason why it's been kind of, dude, it's hit or miss for me. I bought it because I thought it looked good, and all my friends said I should play it. So I had some extra cash. I bought Final Fantasy 15. I played, I think I'm like 24 hours into it or something like that, or maybe something along the lines. It was Christmas weekend, so I had a lot of time to play. And my character's like 40 something, and it's fun, but it's not what I think. I don't know, man. It's just, it doesn't grip me the way I thought it should. Long-winded RPGs always have a hard time for me to make me entertained. When I look back at Dragon Age Inquisition, it was the same story. Eventually, everything kind of run together and it became boring. Imagine having Inquisition. You have so many characters you can put in and out of your party. I only got 4 fucking people here, and they're all fucking douchebags. Like, seriously, like, I was waiting for someone to yell out like, "Oh, Gym Tan Laundry, bitch!" You know, it's like, even then, that would probably be more fun than what I was actually doing, which was just driving around listening to fucking the fire dude go like, "Oh, like, why is it that I'm the only one with the British accent?" or some shit like that. It's like, man, fuck this game. Anyway, so I wasn't too into Final Fantasy 15 at all.
I thought it was okay. I liked it, but also because I don't have. I mean, I'm one of probably like 12 people that liked Final Fantasy 13. So that's why I typically keep my opinions about Final Fantasy on the low, because nobody really appreciates them.
Well, I still haven't gotten the chance to play it. The reviews for it have been really great, and besides Justin, I haven't heard anyone say that it's bad.
Talk to Tyler. That's all I'm gonna say. No, like I said, it's not to say that it's a bad game. Don't let me tell you it's a bad game and just go off of that. Obviously, I just said that for me, it's not one of my favorite games to come out, because it just feels like there could have been so many better things. And when you get a new party member, it's fantastic because it breaks up the monotony of listening to the same like jumping sounds, gunshots, whatever, you know.
Another big letdown.
In retrospect to that, real quickly, sorry, but in retrospect to that, see, I like that about Final Fantasy 15 because I'm one of those people where I like to have everybody equally leveled, and I like to use everybody because I like hearing every possible conversation derivative, every slight change in the way they play, every little individual thing. But with 15, you only had 4 characters, you only had to level 4 characters, and you only had to choose one character to play as. It was real simple, and I enjoyed that because I was able to get that experience without having to really try and spend most of my time buying 8 sets of weapons and 8 sets of the same armor and buying 4 copies of the same 1000 gil spell just so that I have my casters with it. That to me was like way more. There's too much time put into that than into the actual game. Sorry.
No, I mean, I totally get it, and I think it's just important, that we have different opinions, and that's fine. Now, one other game. Were you gonna say something else about another game, Jared?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that another major letdown for me, at least this past year. And we don't have to talk about it for very long because there's really not a lot to talk about it specifically. Is I don't know if either one of you ended up playing Mighty Number 9.
I saw it, and I from what I heard of it, I heard it was a huge disappointment.
It was such a huge disappointment for such a game that had such amazing potential behind it.
All the experience behind it, and everybody that would have been involved with it,
I really think. Yeah, that Square Enix, they shit the bed.
That was Keiji Inafune, right?
Yeah, it looked like the Mega Man successor that we all wanted it to be.
But then it turned out to be and I thought it was kind of funny how they're selling the collector's edition for like $30 at GameStop. And it's like comes with the statue. I'm like, I kind of feel like I want to buy that just for the statue. But then I said no because the game I heard was not very good. So. Real quick before we move on to movies and stuff, because I'm sure we're going to move on to movies real quick, just to rip those to shreds. I did mention that I wanted to make something of Gears of War 4. Here's the problem. Gears of War 4 is the same fucking game. That's why I had a problem with it. I think that being able to play the trailer, in my opinion, looks like the best part of the game. I haven't played all the way through the game. I played a little bit of it. I played Horde mode, and the Horde mode's fun. It's phenomenal. But when it comes down to the way the game controls, that's the one thing that's keeping me from playing it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to play it. I know if Pete was here, he'd be calling me a fucking noob or some shit like that. He'd tell me to get good. I don't know what the hell he'd say. But the fact of the matter is, he's not here, so I can finally speak my opinion on it. Gears of War 4, I'm not looking forward to you. I'm still going to play you eventually, but not anytime soon. Also, by the way, last thing, did mention this on games that I did like, Dead Rising 4. We'll talk about that later. Gears of War 4 is just not my favorite. Not by any fault of its own, just by its entire line of games doing the same thing every single time. Now, movies. We don't need to speak too much about DC because we already kind of threw our piece out there saying DC and in some cases Marvel are really running the well dry. What other movies out there do you guys think kind of fucked up aside from Assassin's Creed? Because we'll tear that a bit into shreds here in a bit.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be a whole nother episode, just tearing that movie to pieces.
Oh, man, I cannot fucking wait for that episode then. I haven't seen it yet, but everything that I thought was going to happen with it, I've been hearing it's been happening with it. So it's like I knew it was going to happen. And only fans are really liking it, but then a lot of fans aren't because it's like, what? So that's...
Yeah, the two movies this past year that really didn't do it for me, and they were both like reboots. One was a reboot. One was supposed to be a sequel. The first one being Ghostbusters, did not care for it, like not one single bit.
I didn't even bother.
And the second one would be Independence Day, which I feel was a little too late as far as sequels go.
So real quick, let's just talk just a quick bit about that. The problem, I think, with Independence Day was that, what did they do? They fucking killed off Will Smith's character in the most unceremonious way possible. They say he died in a plane crash. He was testing okay, well, I don't fucking believe that one bit, because he flew an alien ship the other day, and he was fine. Just because he didn't want to sign up for a movie, because he was doing probably...
But here's the thing, like,
Suicide Squad, whatever.
I'm not the biggest fan of Will Smith. He's kind of a dick in my opinion, but I have to say that's a good call on his part.
No, definitely, he dodged a bullet.
Sucked. He saved his career with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what I was saying. Like he was doing Suicide Squad or whatever the hell else he was doing, and he was just like, nah, man, this script sucks, and I can't really do it. I'm sure his agent probably churched it up, but I'm sure that's what he was saying behind closed doors. Ghostbusters. I have actually said that it has nothing to do with the fact that they're women, and still people say we usually like it because they're girls. I don't like it because Melissa McCarthy plays the same fucking character all the time. I don't like it because it didn't hit the funny bone for me. I will say, however, what's her face, Kristen Wiig and the other girl, the blonde chick. I can't remember her name right now for some reason.
What's her name?
Yeah, well,
driving me crazy.
It doesn't matter right now. I don't want to hold too much time on that. They were funny. Kate McKinnon. Leslie Jones had her moments, but just like she is in SNL, I feel that she's too large. She's larger than life, you know. So she gets in a room and she blows it up. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, because people like loud and I mean, I can't think of a better word. So loud and obnoxious people, because people are friends with me. People like that kind of stuff, and I get it, because in movies, it sells tickets to have the big, dumb, stupid person. And why not have two with her and Melissa McCarthy? Again, watch any of her other movies. Melissa McCarthy does the same bullshit. Tammy, she did it in Heat.
The Heat,
oh my God. Anyway, I think the only movie she didn't do it in was it Charlie St. Cloud? And I thought that was it Charlie St. Cloud? No, that's the fucking movie with the kid and the brother. I think it's St. Vincent. There you go. Charlie St. Fuck that movie. I think it was St. Vincent where she didn't play a big dumb lady. She played a caring person. She played a mom. She played a good role. It wasn't slapstick. It was good. So she can do it. And I saw her in SNL. She can do it, but she needs to stop doing that role. Same thing with Rebel Wilson. Like, seriously, you're funny on your own right. So stop giving these movies what they want. They just want a big fat girl to laugh at, and it's kind of like insulting. Anyway,
So
Fuck
they
Ghostbusters.
this movie didn't get brought up earlier. Did you guys love it or hate it? I didn't see it. Doctor Strange.
Amazing.
I didn't see it yet. I wanted to see
loved
it.
Fantastic.
So
I'm mad at the fact that I didn't mention it. We're talking about good movies. Again,
Benedict Cucumbers.
Yeah, like Bandersnatch Cumberbatch, like he was.
Oh shit.
He was I think that movie. If you're looking for like your standard generic, hyper packed action, destructive ending, then it'll disappoint you. I mean, if you're looking for your standard Marvel ending, you probably won't like the way this movie did.
But anyone who is a fan of Doctor Strange, I'm sure is going to enjoy the hell out of it. Especially,
I hope they do. I haven't actually read the comics, so I can't. My opinion's that of a 4-year-old. So there's not a whole lot that I can say if its connection to the story, and the whole fiasco with them whitewashing the role of the
ancient one or the
ancient one. Yeah, the ancient one with them whitewashing with Tilda Swinton. I got some backstory. I read an article with some backstory on that because Tilda Swinton had released her conversation she had with with
Margaret
Cho.
Yeah,
and I read that whole thing, and I see her reasoning behind it, but I still have to lean in kind of Margaret's favor. Yeah, it's still kind of whitewashing, even though the meaning behind it. Sure, you didn't want to do your stereotypical Asian role, but you still removed a job from an Asian actor because major companies are whitewashing Hollywood.
Well, I don't think it was as bad as Hawaii. What was that movie in Hawaii with what's her face? It wasn't as bad as that, but I get what you're saying.
When they did it with
Emma Stone
too. Yeah,
they had her play a fucking Pacific Islander, and it's like, dude, you're not even Asian. Like, you're the whitest person I've ever seen. So I get what you're saying with that.
No, it was a good movie. But let's go back to bad movies. My worst movie of the year.
Oh, we're doing worst movie of the year now.
Or mine, like what I didn't like, the movie that I wanted, a bad movie. I mean, I was kind of scared to watch movies this year just because it opened up with freaking Batflick, so you gotta forgive me.
Well, I mean, we paid money to go see that in theaters. I think the alcohol is the only thing that made it better.
Yeah, truly, yeah. The alcohol is really what kind of drove that. But
was X-Men Apocalypse good? I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Little column A, little column B.
Okay.
If you're an X-Men fan, you'll like it. But if you're looking for a quality movie itself, it wasn't fantastic. You could say it wasn't fantastic for
Get the
fuck
crowd.
Anyway, I thought it was really cool. I like the way they ended it. It with what they did with Jean Grey. I thought they did that really cool. But beyond that, yeah, I don't.
Well,
it was
I gotta say, yeah, I think last movie that I'm gonna bring up, that I think that needs to just go away, and I don't care what anyone says about it, was Sausage Party.
I didn't even saw that.
Yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't funny enough to make me say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch that again." I honestly wasn't super in love with it. They had a few parts that made me chuckle, but it was just like, hey, let's take an animated movie and make it as fucking balls to the wall as we can and then sell it. And in that respect, I think it was great because, I mean, reading some of the reviews on Amazon and some of the theaters about how, it's an animated movie, you should have told us it was fucking rated R when it said there on the front of the poster it was rated R. That was fantastic. That was awesome. So I really enjoyed that. But the movie itself, nah. I like the hype behind it more.
Yeah, and yeah, I brought it up earlier. Warcraft really disappointed me. As a Warcraft fan, Warcraft player, I played Warcraft 3 starting with Reign of Chaos and up. And I really thought that the movie was way too manipulated, to make more movies. I mean, they could have just made movies normally, but they had to change the story up to give Garona a positive outlook, so she didn't look so brainwashed as she actually was in the game. The casting was wrong. The acting was subpar because most of it was CG, so you really didn't get to see the actors actually act. And
well, I mean, just to be fair on that,
I think it would have just been better if they
would have been a completely animated movie,
completely CG movie, where they would have gotten actual voice actors, people who are experienced in voice acting. And in fact, they could have just used the Blizzard cast that did the actual
they really
voices.
could have. That would have been neat.
And I mean, I don't know why they didn't. I can understand for the mocapping, they didn't even need to do it mocapping like that. Like I believe it would probably be because it's cheaper, but then again, it's like you could have just used in-game models and it would have been better. I mean, it just the
and
coolest,
again, this is coming from you as a Warcraft fan.
Yeah,
I feel
not even just as a movie fan. Like I like as a movie, it wasn't even good. I think just because it was 99% CG, 1% shitty actors, and shitty acting by actors. And it had that. I really dislike movies like this because I think it's just not trying in either direction. It's like how Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe turned into, where like most of it was just CG, and if the actors don't look like they're actually looking at anybody or touching anything because they're not, and so there's no real interaction, so you're not getting any real responses from them. I may be nitpicking, but that's my opinion.
Well, I feel like I appreciate your opinion, but like. I think that there was a lot of stuff. A lot of reasons they did mocapping was because of that. Was the fact that they wanted to make sure that they had something physical anchored in the world, kind of like when they did the action scenes, they had real people standing there, but they had markers to say where to look at because obviously the orcs are 1,000 times bigger than humans. Mm-hmm. That was the one thing I think I liked about it was the fact that the CG looked super clean and crisp. I do also agree that if they would have taken all that CG and just made the movie CG in general, it probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it would have been better.
It would have been better because it would have been felt more like a video game. And even then, using the voice actors from WoW would have been great too. The only problem I have with that is that there's only so many unique voices. A lot of the other stuff is just rewashed, and if I had to hear 50 orcs sound the same, I would have blown my brains out.
But that's the thing is like they didn't even have that many characters in it that needed to have different sounding voices.
Well, and you're right.
You can change the affliction in your voice and sound like 18 different orcs and all you have to do is throw a rasp into it. I mean, it's the fact that I'm not even worried about the variety of the actors. The fact they used a bunch of actors, I'm not worried about that. It's the fact that they just didn't match the role. Maybe it's because of the fact that I'm used to the game and the voices that came behind them, and they changed all the voices and the way that the whole thing felt. I just wasn't too thrilled about.
Another thing that I think that just
change the story. Like, why would they do that?
Well, I mean, because you want to make it accessible to a lot of the people who don't play. That move I understand because it's a money game. I mean, Blizzard would if someone said, "Hey, Blizzard, right now you have 8 million subscribers. We can guarantee you 32 million subscribers if you redo the game and change the story completely." Pretty sure that they would probably do it because that's a lot of money. Same thing in this case. They're trying to make more movies. They're trying to become more commercialized, trying to get more people into it. What better way to be able to do that than to reach the other media they haven't properly? And I mean, I'll tell you what, if they end up making a StarCraft movie, I'll fucking be first in line to see that too.
That'd be cool to see.
I think that with the Warcraft movie, everything you said is warranted. There's a lot of things that is important that needs to be said, like, having some of the original voice actors or trying different things like that. But that was a lot of that's a risk that I didn't know if they were going to be able to take, especially because they were working with a director who didn't work with any of those people previously. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, also, this was in production for like fucking 10 years, It's been a long time, so I think there's a lot of things working on the game, working on the movie would have been difficult for some people. And then lastly, I think the only thing I would have to say is like I think that playing with the characters they had playing playing as Duratan and playing as fucking Blackhand and all these people, the one thing I really enjoyed was and it was a small thing. I don't think a lot of people caught it in the scene where they're talking in the canyon. You have them talking to each other, and it switches. The camera keeps going back around, and you can hear them talking and the orcs talking this and that. There's a few moments where you hear common from an orc's perspective, and then you hear orcish from a common perspective. So I was like, that's really fucking cool. The fact they paid that much attention to show from King Lane's perspective what the orcs sound like to their ears, and then vice versa what the humans sound like to the orc ears. It was pretty cool. But I agree with you on some of those things. I still think the movie was just fantastic though, because I watched Avatar and I thought that movie was cool. So this movie's 1,000 times better. There's less cat people. Wait till the next movie, right? Because then they'll go to fucking Warlords of Draenor and go fight cat people. Anywho, I guess the last couple things we want to talk about here. What are some of the things we're looking forward to in 2017?
Besides new seasons of all my shows, I gotta say...
Any movies specifically?
Honestly, even though I was kind of shit talking them earlier, I'm kind of interested as to how they're gonna do it. Thor Ragnarok.
I would like to see how that works too.
Because that's two characters that have one character that hasn't had his own movie yet, which is Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mark Ruffalo Hulk. Let me be specific.
And this is really gonna explore Planet Hulk, right?
From what
Possibly,
I heard,
they're talking. It's speculated that they're going to talk about Planet Hulk.
They showed Planet Hulk armor, so that just goes to.
That's what I was about to say. I saw that same picture where you see him wearing the Planet Hulk armor.
So it's like they fucking at least do something involved with it. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Then but also because I just think that those two characters, I think would be really cool just to see. I always like to see what characters do outside of the movie you're watching. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like.
Yeah, I feel like Civil War kind of did a poor job of that because it made it feel like it was just another Avengers movie. So Civil
War just made everybody look like dicks. Like everybody on Iron Man's side, they all look like dicks. Everybody on Captain America's side, they look like the good guys. Well, and it just it didn't even.
Yeah, nobody ended the movie as a good guy in Civil War. Nobody.
Well, I'll tell you what. In my eyes, it's always be Team Iron Man.
We're not gonna do this.
We're gonna do this because fucking.
We're not gonna do this.
Captain America and fucking. I
can understand Captain America thing. Like, okay, you gotta have your freedom, but I mean, Iron Man is just he's kind of got it. He understands the weight of all of their strength, and just letting people having all that strength without any control
is dangerous.
Terrifying.
This country was founded on freedom.
That's fine.
We're over here. We need to control our strength, Jarrod. America.
I know Captain Roy Rogers over here. It's not Roy Rogers. It's fucking whatever his name is. Steve Bannon. No. So I think yeah, with Thor and Hulk, it's gonna be pretty neat because you get to see two characters. First of all, they had great the fuck I'm looking for dynamics. Sorry, in the first Avengers, everyone liked the playoff of the Hulk and Captain America, especially when Thor when he punched him and stuff like that. That was funny. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of did a little bit more in the fucking Age of Ultron. And then
Age of Ultron?
Ultron, not Ultron. I'm sorry. I'm living in the Red Faction era. Excuse me. Age of Ultron, and then also when we're looking at Civil War, there's a little bit back and forth too, but not as thick as we expected from Avengers 2. So having their own movie together kind of just makes sense. It's like a Tom and Jerry kind of thing, in a way that the Hulk can't really kill Thor, and Thor probably can't kill a Hulk because, let's face it, he's the Hulk. So it's gonna be fun. Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be fantastic.
I was gonna say, my follow-up is gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy, or even I'm interested in Logan because that's gonna be a rated R Marvel movie.
Dude, and rated R from Fox. I mean, it's gonna be important, especially All the
And it's serious rated R. It's not goofy slapstick rated R, like kind of how Deadpool was. It'll be gory, more surreal rated R.
Something that's really funny is I was talking to somebody at work about a rated R Wolverine, and they're like, "Oh, but I can't take my kids, or my friends can't take their kids." And I'm like, "Well, that's fine because I mean, originally Wolverine was not
there anyway.
That too. Wolverine was not a family-friendly character. I mean, yeah, in X-Men, he'd always say funny stuff.
People.
He'd be like, "What's up, bub?" But if you read his comic book, I mean, I saw him slash a dude from groin to throat and tear everything out with his claws. Yeah, he's a monster.
Honestly, all of them are. Like, all of the Marvel heroes at some point has killed somebody. I mean, hell, Hulk had ripped Wolverine in half and threw his legs over a mountain.
The Blob ate somebody, yeah.
Yeah, it literally ate a person. So I mean, there's no real restraint with the adulthood. So all these parents like, oh no, my kids can't go see it. And it's like, well, you shouldn't be doing it anyway because you're not even looking into the story. You're just falling into marketing again.
Well, we're talking about Marvel doing terrible things to each other. By the way, when Blob ate, I forgot who he ate. I think he ate the kitty chick. What's her name? I think that's who he ate. Might be wrong there. Kitty Pryde. So when after he ate, after Blob ate her, Nightcrawler jumped in the ocean or something, grabbed a shark and teleported inside of the Blob, and left the shark inside of the Blob. So I mean, some terrible fucking things happen in the Marvel universe. Just get over it. Wolverine's gonna kill. You know, Tater's got to Tate. Wolverine's got to kill. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm really excited about that. Guardians of the Galaxy, Logan, the new Thor movie's looking pretty good. We got some great games coming out this year too. We're gonna get to see a lot more of them next couple of weeks.
Let me throw in one extra movie, John Wick 2.
John Wick. Oh yes, John Wick 2. That I watched that movie again like 2 weeks ago. Still, the first one is still fucking fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's you know what I feel like I feel really bad too because John Wick and then The Equalizer came out around the same time. And The Equalizer, I felt, didn't get as much traction as John Wick did because, let's face it, Keanu Reeves, he sells movies. And not saying that Denzel Washington does it, but in this movie, it was not as prominent of a role or prominent of a movie that he's used to. So if they were to re-release or redo Man on Fire, I'd watch it in a heartbeat. But The Equalizer, a whole lot of people kind of missed it. Anyway, there's that. Yeah, we have PAX coming up at the end of the year. End of the month, so we're going to see a lot of new games coming out that maybe we don't quite know about. There's so many games coming out, and we have like 5 minutes left, so I can't really go into the movies specifically or the games, excuse me. But I know that last couple minutes I want to talk about PAX. PAX in San Antonio is the Panicade Expo. This is the third year it's been here. This is exciting. It's always been fun. I haven't missed it yet. And this year you guys are going. Sam, this is your first year at PAX?
Yep.
Okay, first year at PAX, but that makes the next news all that more impressive. And this is Jarrod's second year, right, Jarrod?
Second year. Mm-hmm.
Second year. So you guys are both going to be enforcers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I cannot wait to see you guys there. Anywho.
If you see us there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do my best to look for you guys. Anywho, I think that this is kind of going to wrap up the episode. So, thank you guys very much for listening. If you guys listen to the whole episode, if you listen to it in chunks, that's fine too. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions for the next episode, make sure to leave them on the Facebook page. Or leave them in the comments on the YouTube page that you're watching right now, or listening to, rather. Make sure to check out We Suck At. They are our neighboring thing. We kind of like work together pretty much. They make video content, and they're going to start up again soon. Work is crazy.
There's now, hopefully.
Well, and the good thing is previously Sam was kind of battered down with his previous position, and he had a lot of stuff he was doing. So now I think him and Tyler have more time, and that's great because they always make some really funny shit. Jarrod is still Jarrod. He's with us, so you know him. And you know us, so we're still going to be doing what we do. We're going to be there at PAX, so look for the guys wearing the, at least Friday, I'm wearing my Alamo City Geek Speak shirt, for sure. And then for the rest of the time, just if you guys want to meet up with us, just hit up us on Facebook. Let us know you guys are there. We'll send a shout out to you.
Look for the bright lime green shirt.
Bright lime green shirt. I didn't pick the color, by the way. But it looks cool. I like the way it looks. Anywho, So, again, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Justin.
This is Jarrod.
I'm Sam.
And you guys are listening to Alamo City Geek Speak.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Man, he went and ruined it.
Nerd!